I'm here today to present myself as a transformed person. The mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual strength that I've unlocked in myself would have been unattainable if not for the Paul Anderson Youth Home. It has taught me what it means to be a respectable man and the attitudes and skills in that area that I failed to recognize in myself until I was brought into this campus in October of 2017. Before I came to the youth home, I was a reckless, rash, emotionally unstable young man. In my soul, God had given me a calling to a better life that had always been waiting for me to open its door. Perhaps the reason why I didn't answer was because I lacked the courage to do so. I was in many ways lazy and afraid. The moment I began to slide into things that brought me trouble was in early 2016. My grades in high school were less than ideal, and although that frustrated me, I was too lazy to do any homework. When I started to smoke weed, I saw it as an escape from the stress until I came to the distorted realization that I don't need all this, which this meant in my mind that I didn't need an education at all. I started to skip school my junior year and have as much fun as I possibly could with my new smoking habit. It was an addictively captivating and intoxicating feeling that made me feel as if I had entered a new consciousness, knowing in the back of my mind that I was being controlled by a substance, deceived by a sensation, and lured into a trap of depression and being robbed of a piece of my soul. My efforts to be liked were, as I see so clearly now, empty and childish, seeing before me a family who truly loves me and a God who does the same. Those friends of mine were never pushing me to do anything productive, and so I saw them as a safe place for my ego to reside. My grandmother and my father asked me hard questions because they actually cared, and that's what love is. It's not always easy. After a much-needed cold turkey from weed, my brain was in a state of shock, not allowing me to sleep for 7 brutal nights. It was then when I fell into a 40-day period of sobriety, feeling as empty inside as I have ever before. After countless arguments with my dad, ignoring my grandma when she called me, walking all over my mom, and making zero efforts to interact with my sister, I had grown distant from everyone who cared about me, and saw it fit to find a place in the homeless community where I felt less judged and scrutinized. This was all a result of boyhood and its side effects. Though my intentions were usually positive, I had not the honor, integrity, work ethic, and overall courage nor drive to accomplish anything worthwhile. A few months ago, during Stern's graduation lunch, I heard his dad utter something I will never forget. He simply said, "Nothing worth having in life comes easy." This quote was probably spoken with less importance than the impression on me it left, but it stuck on my mind, tugged at my heart, and stitched its way into the fabric in which the man I'm becoming is sewn with. In May of 2019, I had the honor of getting baptized by Kevin Williams. It serves as a declaration that I'm made new in Christ. It serves as a declaration that whatever demon was after my mind 2 years ago has been weakened by the transcendent power of the Holy God. It serves as a declaration that Jesus Christ has saved my soul and holds me now at a higher standard of living, working, speaking, and interacting. A verse that stuck out to me was Romans 12:2. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind, that testing you may discern what is the will of God, what is good and acceptable and perfect. It is God's will for me to remain sober, so that my mind can be clear and the decisions that I make can be smart, and my life can be genuine. It is also God's will for me to be a righteous older brother to my sister, to be a son my father and mother can be proud of, and to completely utilize the tools and opportunities my grandmother has given me, and to no longer take for granted her support in my life. Seeing that I am 19 years old, I still have time to rectify all these relationships. Although the youth home was the right path from the beginning, I'd be a liar if I said that I didn't resist it my first 5 months. I tried calling my grandma to pick me up. I tried refusing. I tried running away. All of these attempts to leave the program prematurely are, as I see now, futile. It wasn't until I took a painfully blind leap of faith into following the program against the power of my own stubborn will that I truly realized that the Paul Anderson Youth Home is for second chances. I had seen and known and heard this fact in many ways, but there's a distinct difference between hearing something and figuring out for yourself. The Paul Anderson Youth Home has helped me figure out the college I will attend, the church I will attend, as well as the drug recovery program I will attend. Above all, the Paul Anderson Youth Home gave me a chance to reevaluate the true course of my life should take, in isolation from any outside influences that could potentially disrupt this decision or otherwise make it for me. When I return to Oregon, I will be living with either a host family or in the dorms of Southern Oregon University, depending on my acceptance into the college, with the plan to complete my college prerequisites and receive my associate's degree before I move to Savannah, Georgia to attend SCAD to study writing and eventually pursue a career in all forms of writing, including journalism, screenwriting, and novel writing, which I've already began doing. On a very personal note, and in no way discrediting or devaluing my career aspirations, I'm more excited than anything just to show my loved ones the change that I have made to become a better person, to be the man I never was and that I might never would have been if God didn't transform my heart to focus on physical, mental, and spiritual health and righteousness. There could have been a reality in which this opportunity to escape the destructive path that I was following had never come to pass, and therefore leaving me at the age of 60 with a life of heavy regret. But God allowed me to perceive such a reality and its many consequences, only to bring me back to this very moment in time, with 41 years between, to carefully calculate my every step with wisdom. This turnaround in my course would have never been possible if not for a few people that had faith and the patience within themselves to deal with me during all my hills and valleys. I want to thank Miss Mary for helping me through a long 13 months of excruciating Algebra 2. I honestly can say that it's hard to imagine me passing such a class without the support of your mathematically inclined brain and your willingness to come every Tuesday and Wednesday to be a solid rock in my life. And I want to thank James Lowe for being there to give me wise advice for my future during time of need and being someone I could talk to. And I want to thank Randy for guiding me through my transition plans. And I want to thank Miss Kathy for running the school that allowed me to finish 11th and 12th grade. I want to thank Jay Sineth for always being a steady, consistent mentor of mine, whom I could trust to be my advocate, though the boys don't always appreciate the numerous job checks, push-ups, and reminders about laundry. Your character and integrity is one to be greatly admired. I want to thank Aaron Tanner for uplifting my mood whenever he's around, and also for being someone I can discuss intelligent topics with, such as music. I want to thank Kev for being a righteous man who gave me an example of a good work ethic. I want to thank Miss Gwen and Stephen Richardson for being willing to hear my thoughts about life and value them as if they themselves were living it out. And I want to thank Jody for becoming a great friend and mentor and supporting me through thick and thin. And I want to thank Daniel for just being, I don't know where he is, but I want to thank Daniel for just, I never really told you this, but I appreciate the fact that you're just a very steady person and you're just a consistently good guy. And I want to thank Marshall for giving me all the workout advice that you've given me. I truly value that, and so thank you. And lastly, I want to thank Paul Anderson and Miss Glenda for starting this youth home that has transformed many lives, including mine. Paul Anderson for being my original inspiration to work out, and Miss Glenda for keeping the home alive for years and keeping it a home rather than just any old program.
Lord, I offer up this rebel heart, so stubborn and so restless from the start. I don't wanna fight you anymore, so take this rebel heart and make it yours. Father, I no longer wanna run. You've broken my resistance with your love and drowned it underneath the crimson spill. So bend this rebel heart into your will. I give it over to you. I give it over till my best defenses fall, and watch this rebel heart surrender all. I give it over to you. I give it over to you. Your love is like an arrow, straight and true. And now this rebel heart belongs to you. Oh, take my life and let it be yours. Oh, take my life and let it be yours. Oh, take my life and let it be yours. Oh, take my life and let it be yours. I give it over to you. I give it over to you. Your love is like an arrow, straight and true. And now this rebel heart belongs to you. Now this rebel heart belongs to you. Now this rebel heart